Poland's story is one of resilience and national identity. Although you may have never given it a second thought, Poland once spanned an immense territory stretching from sea to sea. However, just a few centuries later, Poland would be erased from the map, gone for over a century. So, where did Poland come from? Why did it disappear? And how has it become the country we know today? Poland officially began its life in the 10th century when Duke Mieszko I of the Piast dynasty converted Poland to Christianity. This event, known as the Baptism of Poland, is widely regarded as the creation of the Polish state. Poland maintained its independence until 1569 when it entered a union with its neighbor Lithuania, forming the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Following this, the Commonwealth experienced massive growth, and by the beginning of the 17th century it had a population of 11 million, with its territory covering an area of nearly 1 million square kilometers, which stretched from the Baltic to the Black Sea. Sadly, Poland's future was far from bright. The centuries that followed saw significant loss of land, and by the middle of the 18th century, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth had devolved into a state of disorder, its kings being chosen by the neighboring powers of Russia, Austria, and Prussia as political moves. Finally, in 1772, the first partition of Poland-Lithuania took place, dividing 210,000 square kilometers of Poland between Austria, Prussia, and Russia. In the decades following this, Poland-Lithuania attempted to enact reforms, but the adoption of a new liberal constitution caused Russia and Prussia to intervene in defense of the original constitution. This started the Polish-Russian War of 1792, which led to the Second Partition in 1793. This partition split roughly 300,000 square kilometers between Prussia and Russia. The final nail in Poland-Lithuania's coffin came with the Third Partition, response to an uprising in 1794. This partition divided the remaining 215,000 square kilometers between Prussia, Russia, and Austria, effectively wiping Poland from the map. Life in the partitioned land was tough for many Poles. On top of the fact that they had lost their entire country in around 20 years, there were also prevalent biases against Poland and the Russian Empire. This led to many attempts to erase Polish culture through harsh policies and laws. Conditions after the partition varied significantly for Poles, depending on where they were found. Under Austrian rule, the Kingdom of Galicia, formed from the partitioned land, was subject to many reforms under the governance of Vienna. Although these reforms limited the power of the aristocracy, they provided many rights and freedoms to common people, which led to Austria being seen in a positive light by Poles. Although there were definitely challenges and issues, Austria had the best conditions for Poles by far, especially when compared to the other two controlling empires of Russia and Prussia, both of which had enacted policies attempting to erase Polish culture. These policies often meant that schools were forbidden from teaching in Polish, and public use of the Polish language was discouraged or penalized. Despite the best efforts of their oppressors, Polish culture persevered, with Poles continuing to speak their language and practice their traditions, maintaining a strong sense of national identity. This led to the rise of Polish nationalism, influenced by other nationalist movements in Europe. In the absence of a sovereign nation, Poles instead turned to the church and the rich cultural heritage to define what it meant to be Polish. Even as Poland's culture was being actively suppressed, a renaissance in literature and art occurred during this period. Renowned Polish poets, writers, and artists emerged, creating a sense of Polish identity that would last for generations. During Poland's 123 years as partitioned land, there were many protests and uprisings against the foreign powers that controlled its territory, as Poles fought to regain their independence and restore the Polish nation. Prominent examples are the November Uprising of 1830 and the January Uprising of 1863, both major Polish attempts to regain independence from the Russian Empire. The Poles' persistence paid off, as the outbreak of World War I caused Poland's independence to become an international matter. After the war, the partitioning powers were significantly weakened, allowing Poland to regain its independence and become a sovereign nation, resembling modern Poland. Today, Poland stands proud as a testament to the power of unity and nationalism.